Alrighty, Pressure Point fans, welcome back. We've got another episode. I've honestly lost count as to what number this is, so forgive me. You'll see it in the title, no doubt. But we've got a very, very special guest today, a St Kilda icon, some may call her. Amber, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh, absolute pleasure. Yeah, obviously an internet sensation, blown up in the last couple of years. It's getting goosebumps having you in the studio. It's like,
a bit starstruck, are you?
oh, mate, it's unbelievable. We've had some past players before, but this takes the cake, I reckon, for sure. So. But we'll obviously a big St Kilda fan, so we'll get into a bit of that first. So taking right back to the beginning, where did your love for St Kilda come about? Because obviously it's very strong.
So my mum actually is the St Kilda fan, and me and my older brother were just sort of born into it. My dad, he's into V8 supercars. We never really got into that. And my uncle used to take us to games back in the day. And yeah, it just sort of like grew from that. Next thing we were members and have been members for 17 seasons this year.
Wow.
Billy, my brother, he's not part of it anymore. He just watches on TV.
He's watching on telly, yeah.
But mum still comes to every game with us and
absolutely.
gets amongst it.
Did she come to platform 28 before the game?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll love that. You'll love that. That's awesome.
She sometimes gets involved. Otherwise, she's usually a bit drunk in the corner.
Love it.
That's good. What about some of your memories from your early days as a Saints fan? Like, what are your favourite memories? Obviously, there's been some heartbreak in there, but
yeah, pretty much
pretty
heartbreaking.
But yeah, was there anything to stand in terms of like your players?
Stephen Milne was always my favourite player from the moment he kicked 11 goals. I think it was in like 2004 or 5 against the Brisbane Lions.
Oh, yep.
And ever since that day, I was like, he is my favourite player. And I think I got for like my 11th or 12th birthday a Guernsey that said, "To Amber, happy birthday" from Stephen Milne. I've still got it.
That's so
It's
good.
got his number on the back and wore it to the 2010 grand final.
Oh, jeez.
Draw and replay.
Yeah.
I was going to say the bounce as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well,
I get very upset when people still talk about that.
So we can't talk about that then? Okay. Damn it.
We'll avoid that.
Yeah.
We'll avoid that. That's fine. But obviously, like we were talking about before, you've become famous in the last couple of years for something that seems reasonably easy to do, but for a lot of people, they wouldn't have the guts to actually, be that out there and that outgoing. Do you remember the first time you did the knock thing and how nervous you were actually doing it, or was it after a few drinks and you did not care?
After a few drinks, always. Can't do it sober. But it got handed down to me by a guy that we know at the football. They actually run the R29. They're like St Kilda things, and they like sing chants about the boys. And we always used to go to the pub with them, have a few drinks. And Marshy used to do it. Then one day, I think he was like, "Amber, like you do it. You've got a super loud voice." And then that was probably maybe like 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So we used to do it. There was probably like 15, 20 of us that used to go to the pub after the game. It wasn't very busy. We would just like get amongst it and just like love it. And then, it just like was a thing. And then all of a sudden it was round 3 last year, I think. I'd been in a function, the presidency one, at the St Kilda Richmond game.
Oh, yeah, thank you for that. I remember that game.
It was like bottomless, like Prosecco and champagne, and
oh wow,
I was I'm banned from drinking at work functions like champagne now. After that, and we went to the pub, and I'd lost my voice, and Tiara just said, Tiara video recorded it of me doing it, and I sounded disgusting. I was doing weird things with my hands, don't even really remember it. I got kicked out of the pub later. And she uploaded it on TikTok and woke up the next morning with a raging hangover at work. And it was blowing it up. And I was just beside myself. I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe this is happening. I was messaging Instagram pages to take it down. Tiara would not take it down. After a couple of days, I got over it. The hangover wore off, so wasn't anxious about it anymore.
Yeah,
well, I was going to say, with the amount of views you've gotten since in other videos, like 6 million, one of them got, we mentioned earlier, like that's insane. Obviously now you're not
you're lucky you didn't get taken down, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly right. Lucky Tiara's got the business brain over there. Knew it was going to blow up.
Back to you talking about old 29 and like that Saints area where they chant. Is that the same people that were doing like the Jack Nunes chant and all that back then?
Yeah, that's them.
I've heard a few of them. They're clever.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah,
very funny people.
Yeah. Have you heard?
Well, you've heard of the Jack Nunes chant.
Because like I've got a few mates that go for the Saints, and they always sing that. Well, they did when Jack Nunes was playing.
Yeah,
it was like
okay.
the Doctor Nunes.
Oh, give me the news.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's good.
clever, isn't it?
They've got like really good ones.
Yeah.
Like really good ones. So creative with
Yeah,
them.
they are. Yes, I've seen a few videos of them doing it.
Yeah, no, St Kilda's Richmond's bogey team. We always seem to lose the Saints, so I'm just sort of zoned out when the Saints are winning because I hate hearing
There
it.
was a few years you guys just
We had-
pumped us for a while.
No, we had a couple. I'll admit, we had a couple of good years. We had a couple of good years,
Jeez,
but
come- seriously,
as of recent, I should say. But
Saints always beat the Blues as well. So, geez,
Yeah.
we hate the Saints.
what are you
let's
doing
be
here?
honest.
What are you doing here? This is a terrible idea. But obviously, like I said, lots of views, no doubt, lots of comments and all that. But what are some of the worst/weirdest messages and
So-
DMs you've gotten because of this?
Besides like a few quite mean ones, like death threats that get like deleted, the one that stuck with me the most, and I tend to not read them because I can't handle it and I'll probably spiral, be really like upset. Someone said once, this could be a little bit off, but it was like, I saw her in the food stall at Marvel. She looked musty AF in real life and she has really shit eyebrows. And it was by like a 13-year-old boy. And I was like, I don't know why that's like hit me harder than the death threats because I do my own eyebrows. That's really mean.
It's insulting your craftsmanship.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, rude. And when someone commented once and was like, she needs to eat a few more cheeseburgers, the fatty or something. I was like, oh,
Jesus. You know,
it's
some
surreal.
people are vicious, aren't they?
yeah.
Well, then on that, like, how do you deal with that? Because I'm terrible. Like, I had a negative comment on one of our videos the other week saying this guy's useless.
Oh.
And like, it wasn't that bad, but like instantly I'm like, I'm never doing this stuff again. Like, this sucks. Like, how do you deal with that? Because that's a
So
big
first
thing.
off, I don't read any of the comments. When Tiara uploads a TikTok, I'll literally go straight on, give her my little like, and then just get out of it. But I don't know. I don't get a lot in real life, which makes it, well, in person, which makes it a lot easier. I think out of the, year and a half, now I think I've only had 3 people actually come up to me in person and like be a bit mean.
Yeah.
But otherwise, my Instagram DMs, I like read them and laugh and send them to the group chat, but I don't know, it doesn't really bother me too much because I don't see a lot of them. Yeah. And because Tiara uploads them, she'll get the hate comments, not me. She'll see
Poor
them,
Tiara.
so yeah. She loves it though. She comments back to them, and like the whole crew that we go to the footy with us, I think there's like 8 of us.
Yeah.
They're all like really witty and funny, so they're always on the TikTok just like abusing people, not abusing people, but like
Giving it
getting
back.
people-
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that's
a sign of like you're doing well is when you get abuse on social media, isn't it? Like, because people just are jealous of your success and.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to be known by the
well,
wider footy community.
Speaking of eyebrow, remember someone got stuck into you? No, it was your mustache.
Someone said I had a handlebar
Was it? No,
mustache.
was it that?
They said,
Yeah.
Tell the guy with the handlebar mustache to learn football. I don't know.
And you didn't even have a handlebar mustache.
No, that was the worst part. Again, insulting my craftsmanship. I can't clip of my own beard. That was real fun. I think that one.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I think it's
definitely not
as bad as it is, like the social media abuse and stuff. It's just, again, if you look at it at a different lens, it's probably like, well, you're obviously doing well.
Yeah.
Because people are obviously jealous and trying to bring you down.
The people in person, I think 2 were Carlton supporters in one night.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Don't look at
after
me.
last
You apologise
year.
now. That would have been you.
And one of them, it was out the front of Platform 28 because Tiara and I usually, when we do the knock-knock, we'll go out the front, out of the pub, watch them and choose, like, we'll be like, okay, yep, this is good, like, we'll upload this one. And one person came up to me. I think I was out there by myself. And we've been going to Platform 28 for like 8 years. We know like the security guards and stuff, not by like names, but they all know us because we go there. And I just told the security guards, I said, he's just like sworn at me and being quite mean to me, and they don't let them in and they like kick him out. So I don't want to be that snitch, but I also don't want to like be yelled at. Like you're coming to the place where you know like we're going to be, so why show up if you're going to be an asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's also like, why should you not be able to enjoy yourself? Because you're going to be thinking about it the rest of the night if they're in there with you.
Yeah.
And then why should you have to ruin your night?
But we had one the other week. It was actually really funny. Tiara, we'd all have a few drinks, and Tiara just absolutely ripped him to shreds. He couldn't even get a word in. It looked like when he was leaving that he was going to cry. He looked so upset. I can't repeat what was said.
No.
Oh my God.
Maybe don't repeat what we said, but we'll take your word for it.
It was so funny. And it's good because we've got a couple of guys that are with us that are like one's 6'4" and I think one's 6'2" or something. So
Yeah.
we don't tend to get a lot of people come up to us. It's usually, I would say, probably if I'm by myself. That's when people,
right.
But I mean, it's only happened, like 3 or 4 times. I had to do the other weekend at the Carlton game. Before
You're
the game.
fans. It's a common thing.
Carlton supporters.
I'm constantly trying to, apologise for the Carlton fans. It doesn't represent all of us.
He came up to me, can I swear?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and he goes, knock, knock, you fucking bitch or something. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. I think I'd had like one drink. It was before the game. I was not expecting it. And then he just like walked off and I was like, oh my God. Oh, fuck. And then he actually came back and he goes, I'm actually really sorry. He's like, I don't know why I did that. Like, he's like, I didn't even think that like you were a person. He's like, I just like yelled it at you. No, I worded that really poorly. No, but he was like, I see you online. Object. He's like, then I like say that in real life. He's like, I came back out and actually like had this split second realization that like you have feelings. Like that wasn't very nice. And I was like, oh, okay, that was a complete 180. And then after the game, we saw him at the pub. So I went up to him and I was like, knock, knock, you fucking idiot. And he was like, nah, good call. Yeah, he loved it. And he's like, if anyone says anything to me, he's like, tell me. He's like, I'll get him. I was like, oh, you were the only one that said something.
Yeah. You're actually the only one.
He did save himself a bit, but geez, that's a complete flip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, big time, big time. Well, rumour has it Marcus was outside platform 28 and told him to come back and apologise. Again, trying to defend Carlton.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was me the whole time. Yeah.
Trying to do right by the Carlton fans. But it's no surprise, though, like you said, that you don't get too many in person because, like you said, a lot of 13-year-old boys are the ones probably messaging, saying stupid shit, and they don't have the guts to come up and say anything in person. So
literally.
I'm not surprised. And with you and Tiara, I wouldn't team up against you guys either.
It's her, it's not me. Like, I'll go like mute unless I've had a couple too many. I think I'm like the Hulk and I'm like, fuck off, leave me alone.
Fair enough. You got to defend yourself.
Yeah.
What about, has there ever been a time where like it hasn't gone down well, like you've tried and no one's really responded to your chants, or
not
or is it
really.
always
it
kicked
always
off?
Pretty does like it does kick off, but I would say like the ones that are posted on TikTok that do the best are the ones at the stadium. They're the ones that have gone like the most viral. But it always looks like in the TikTok videos, because people aren't standing up or anything when like we do it, but everyone's getting involved and then you don't like pick up on it in the video. Like they just don't look like they're catching on, but they actually are. So it's hard to...
Yeah, okay.
Like, I don't know. We usually, if we do it at a stadium, it's usually with about 1 minute to go, if that.
Yeah.
And like people usually like run up and they're like, are you going to do it? Like, are you going to do it? So like...
Yeah, okay.
They kind of force you almost.
Yeah.
So you're never yelling knock, knock and hear nothing back. So it's always something.
And I've always got my friends around me that are like, ready to like back me.
That's good. Yeah.
That's awesome. Because like, I know how flattening it feels. I'm pretty sure it was that I went to like my first ever cricket match, and it was like a one day or the Aussies were playing. And everyone was doing like the Aussie, Aussie, Aussie chants. And I thought I'd try and start one. And crickets, absolute crickets. And I'm probably like 13 and I'm sitting there, oh my God. Like, I hate it.
That would have been soul destroying.
Oh, it honestly was. I've never spoken out in public ever again. Like I just keep my mouth shut the whole time now. It's it's a flattening feeling. But I remember, I think it would have been the Richmond, was it? No, it wasn't. It was St Kilda. I can't remember. My sister's a Saints fan. I took her to a game last year and we went to platform 28 for a drink beforehand. I remember spotting you there and I'm thinking, she's going to do it. She's going to do it. Like, it was before the game as well. I was like, it would have been pretty tame. Like, she's going to do it. And obviously you didn't do it before the game. So I do feel like I'm kind of owed one, but that's right.
Did we win?
Pardon?
Did we win?
Yeah, you ended up winning.
Oh, we should have come after.
I know, I should have had places to be, you know. I'm a busy guy.
I've listened to him.
I should have come after. I would have seen one. But speaking of, like, which venue do you think you get a better response at? Marvel, Platform 28 or the G?
Platform, definitely. Because that's where it was always done. That's where, like, all the TikToks are taken. And we've even seen, like, in a non-arrogant way, like, the crowds that go to Platform 28 now, like, people usually come to hear it, see it, and then, like, leave. And we have, like, Tiara and I have people running up to us going, like, do it. Like, we've just come to see the knock knock. And then they're moving, like, along. But that's sort of, like, the home of it. That's where it happens. So that's...
That's so good. That's when everyone's...
I feel like, I feel like it's always the
drinks.
same sort of crowd as well. Like when I'm like watching a few of the videos and all that, I see the same people in the crowd. Like obviously you're there, but then like all the people in there are the same. Like we've got, like I said before, our mutual friend Julian. He's always there. Like I see the same people. I'm thinking they must be coming every week, but just see this at this point.
I think they like do. But we were there the other weekend. It was after, what game was it, Tiara, where they like it was so busy at platform, they actually like closed the doors to like the outside area where we do it. And Tiara and I were at like the inside, and they like closed the door. They're like, no more people out here. Was it the Carlton game? Yeah. And everyone, our friend Zach, who's diehard Carlton supporter, he was like, let her out. And everyone was like cheering, like, let her outside. So like the security like let us out, but it was so busy, like you could not move like out there. It was crazy.
Surely at this point, Platform 28 is going to start giving you royalties or something.
I reckon.
Every time you rock up, it should be free drinks on
We're
the
just going to
house
have
all
to,
night.
or just
Surely.
add another level to it or
Well,
something.
it's already like two-story. There's like an upstairs area.
They're going to have to do another one, I think. Just for you, just for your people.
Do a third level just to knock.
Well, all the people know, like the security guards never tell me to like not stand on the benches or anything when I do it. But I've had a few comments when like it's been like the seeing me step up. I had one the other day, people going, oh my God, she's like 4 foot tall. Like she's tiny. So I've got to be up on like the bench for people to see me, I guess.
Yeah.
Otherwise they wouldn't see me.
So what were they expecting? Like a 6'5" monster?
Probably with my voice, probably.
Oh, that's so good. You went to Gather Round?
Yeah, we did,
How was that in terms of the whole experience? Because, we obviously missed out this year, but everyone says that it was so cool.
Really good. We just wish that we planned it probably a bit more better and got tickets to more of the games, because without even thinking, we just got the tickets to the Saints game, not really knowing when we got free tickets through St Kilda, like they send an email and you just have to redeem them.
Yeah.
But we didn't really think much of it because we only, I think, decided maybe like 4 weeks out that like, stuff it, we're going to go.
Yep.
And we ended up driving it because flights were just too easy drive. But it was really fun. It was like pumping.
Yeah.
Like Adelaide was just...
Yeah. Everyone getting around you as well?
Oh, just like I think everyone was just like getting around like the footy.
Yeah.
And it was... Yeah, it was really fun. I loved the Adelaide Hill. Like,
where the scoreboard
Hilux
is,
Hill,
isn't it?
So good.
Yeah, I've still never been. I need to get down there. But like the who's who of, I guess, even AFL social media stars, like everybody seemed to be there. And like do you reckon Adelaide's definitely the place to keep the Gather Round for the moment?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt like we were the only AFL content creators that went there.
The only big ones.
Yeah. That's it. Exactly.
You speak into existence,
Sorry.
so it doesn't happen.
Well, I felt like everyone that makes content in the AFL space was there.
No, absolutely. So Marcus and I, before the season started, we set this task. We're trying to find one round of the year that we could get to every game, like all 9 games in a week. And it was like one super expensive and nearly impossible. And then we're like, Gather Round. I'm like, Gather Round could be a bit of a cop out. So we just never like looked into it.
Yeah.
And in the week of, we're like, we really should have gone to Gather Round. Like that would have been the one to do.
Yeah.
It actually worked out well, like driving it, because we had my car there and it just made it really easy to just like get around, because Adelaide is so small. But I don't know, I'd definitely drive it again and do every single game.
Go to more games.
What is it, like 8 hours?
Yeah, it was, and it was just like 110 along one road the whole way there.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
It was so easy.
Yeah. Well, they've got it for the next 3 years, so
Yeah.
can't miss out next time.
We'll be there next year. We'll see you there next year.
And like book it early, because everything just like skyrocketed by the time that we decided to go. We stayed in Glenelg, so it was and there was 4 of us that went, so it worked out not like too expensive, but
Yeah, no, definitely.
Just spent probably a lot on alcohol, but
Yeah.
that's what you'd rather spend it on than like...
Yeah, you'd rather spend it on that, definitely. There's worse things to spend it on, so you'll take it.
That's good. And the Saints won 50th year as well. You got recognised in their celebration video.
Yes.
How was that? That would have been pretty amazing.
It was really cool when they called me at work. They'd actually called Tiara and she passed on their details to me, and I just remember thinking like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, what? And I was at work and my boss, his son is actually Max King, or Max and Ben King.
Yeah.
So I was like on the phone at work, I was like, Max and Kilda are calling me. He's like my #1 fan. So it was
so good.
unreal. We went down and taped a knock knock there in the Danny Frawley stand. Thankfully, they didn't use that video. And I sent them some other ones, but it was pretty like surreal. I was like, okay, like this is... I couldn't say no, and I'm like a nervous person.
Yeah.
So I had a few drinks at work, had a few drinks before we went down there. But like I just think, wow, like me in their 150-year video, like what the fuck?
That's so cool. Yeah. That's crazy. That would be it's honestly like a pinch yourself moment, isn't it?
Well, it's one of those things, like the 150-year anniversary, like it's a massively special thing.
Yeah.
And to be a part of it would be,
Like
must
the,
be
the
insane.
club you love, grown up supporting. Like
The fact that they've recognised you as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
And Tiara and I had been saying, we'd noticed St Kilda had been, when they started taking off, putting like knock knock in their like captions on things, and we're just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, can't even comment on one of the TikToks. But like, no, we like love it. But I remember my boss, he was telling me at that game, they kept playing it in the function he was in. I think it was the Hall of Fame one. And he said, I'd had a few beers and I kept saying, she works for me. She works for me. He's like, I stopped being like Max King's dad and Knock Knock's boss. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I love that. Like, your key forward is my son.
Yeah.
But no, what about him at the moment?
Yeah. He said he was having to get like his wife to back him up to say like, yeah, she actually does work for him.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
they do that? Oh, I don't believe that. Like, it could be that surreal.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, no, love it. He loves it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you got recognised in Richmond's celebrations. It'd be honestly like life complete for you, wouldn't it?
Oh, I don't take much though. Like, I get excited for you. I got to the game really early last night and I saw Richo, and he was at a bar and I was like lining up behind him, and that made my night. Like, I didn't say anything to him.
Did you say anything?
No, I'm too scared.
Just
He's
being
my hero.
near him.
I wouldn't say anything. You know what? You don't meet your heroes unless
Yeah.
they let you down. And I looked at him. I'm like, I don't want to ruin it for myself. I'm not going to say anything just in
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
I let it be. But that made my day. So it doesn't take much. Like,
Yeah.
Nah, fair.
It's really not saying a lot. But before we wrap up, we do have a segment we're bringing back for the first time this year. It's called the Pressure Cooker. And if you don't know, it's pretty much just some quick fire questions. And they're all pretty simple. Like, they're all a bit of fun.
Could be about anything.
Could be about
Yeah.
anything. But we've been pretty lenient the last few times we've done it when, the answers, we've given people a bit long. So we're going to be a bit stricter on you today.
Oh,
Just
okay.
get you to pump them out pretty quickly.
Just
Look, they're
quick
not-
fire.
Yeah, they're quick fire. So we'll get you to pump them out.
First
So-
thing that comes to your head, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's been a long time coming, but here is the Pressure Cooker. Alrighty, first question. If you played for the Saints, what would your signature celebration be?
Smile.
That would have to be the creepiest celebration.
Just smile.
Just
Oh, very
Love it.
good. What's the funniest nickname you've ever been given?
I actually have never like had a nickname.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Amber Vandenham isn't really like a nicknameable like name.
Yeah, no, actually,
It's
No,
not,
that's
I was
not.
trying to think of
No.
one just
Yeah,
then
people
for you.
have called me like Vanders and that's it. And I like kind of cringe when people call me that because I'm like, oh,
All right.
no, it's not
I'll
very
wait till
cool.
it's Vanders.
Yeah. Damn it.
All right, this one. If you were an umpire for a day, what rule would you introduce to the game?
Oh.
Do you have one that you don't want to say, or you don't
No, I
have one?
can't think of
Yeah.
The
one.
way you looked at me was like you had one, but you didn't want to say it.
No, I don't know. Actually,
No?
I don't know.
You can pass.
Pass.
Okay.
Done.
What's the most embarrassing fashion trend you've ever rocked with?
Definitely Super leggings, socks, and like flat shoes when I was like probably 11 years old. I look back now and think, wow, why did mum let me out of the house?
It's funny you
Brilliant.
actually answered with that, because when I asked Marcus, he answered with the same thing. Very good answer. All right, this one is... I actually surprised this one's in here, but it's an interesting one. If you had to choose any cartoon character or fictional character to be on St Kilda's list, who would it be and why? Put Big Shrek at full forward.
That's not even quick fire yet. You need time to think about these questions.
Yeah, this one doesn't have to be so rapid fire because it's so out there.
Oh, I'm like mentally blanking on like everything I've ever like watched.
I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think.
Well,
now who I'd
you'd
put.
do like Spider-Man or something, wouldn't you?
Mate, the acrobatics, the speed.
Yeah.
Maybe like, I don't know. I don't really watch like action movies or like things like that. Like, I like Hannah Montana. As a
She'd
27-year-old.
be no good.
Exactly.
She'd be
She'd be no
useless.
good.
Well, what kind of player do the
Maybe the
Saints
half-time
need?
entertainment.
Like, do you need a big, bustling forward?
We're missing King at the moment. So
Yeah, no, King's back today.
He's
Oh,
back
he's
today.
King has
Oh, that's
returned.
right, he's too.
Yeah.
That's huge.
What about like the Hulk or something? You can never go wrong with that.
You wouldn't
Maybe
have body.
like, what's that little, like the Incredibles, that like boy that runs really fast?
Oh,
I don't know
Dash.
his name. Dash, yeah,
Dash.
maybe him.
Yeah,
Just
he'd
to
be
like
good.
run straight down the middle.
He'd be
Kick
good.
it to king,
He's
goal,
got a
yay.
bit of Dan Butler about him, actually. Dash.
Yeah.
Bit of pace.
Okay,
bit
so
of
I'm
forward
going to
pressure.
stick with that. I'm
Yeah,
going to stick with
alright,
I've
Dash.
gone Dash in the
Yeah.
Incredibles. Actually, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect an Incredibles character to make an appearance today. Here we go.
That's good. What's the strangest thing you've seen a fan do during a football game?
Apart from knock knock.
Oh, I would just say like when you just see, and like I don't want to be a bitch, but like just like
You can.
the like larger older people that are like screaming and spitting and their
yeah.
pants sort of like fall down a little bit. And I'm like, yuck! Can you not?
It must be a Saints thing.
No, it's always Carlton supporters. Carlton supporters.
Yeah.
It would have been at the Carlton game, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're a loose bunch. Tell you what. Yeah.
Alrighty, now, geez, you can tell we did dive into the world of AI with some of these questions. You can tell with the next one that's popping up.
You're not meant to say that, Quinn.
Yeah, well, not that imaginative, mate. If you had the power to magically make one St Kilda player's hairstyle change mid-game, what would it be and what style would you give them?
This is not quick fire, Quinn.
Mate, I would give...
You need half an hour to think
You could
about
give
some
Jack
of these.
Steele a perm.
Pass. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
How did that question make the cut, Quinn?
I don't know. I'm going to complain to AI about that one. Somehow made the list. But that is it for the pressure cooker. You don't have to stress anymore. That's all done.
Yeah,
It's all-
sorry, my answers weren't very good.
Well,
Yeah, some of those were shit. I admit.
yeah, that was an
Apologies.
interesting one. Hey,
Apologies for that.
maybe we can forget about that question. How are you feeling about the Saints today against the Giants? When we released this, though, the result would have happened. So, but how is your...
I don't know.
How are you feeling
I feel
about
like last year, before Ross the boss was back, every game I'd wake up and have like, I'd be like, fuck, how are we going to do? Like, you just never knew when you're going to get. I feel like the last few weeks, that's what I'm like almost back to.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have a couple of teams that it's always a really good game, no matter how like good or bad each team's doing on the ladder. But I feel like GWS, it's always a pretty like good game, pretty close. I don't know. I think we just need to like lift. Just
Yeah.
need to be, like,
You've been a bit down the last few weeks.
Yeah,
The
no
Ross the Boss
effort.
effect.
Yeah.
Slowly, the honeymoon period
yeah,
coming to an end.
crashing down very fast.
Yeah.
Well, a win today would hopefully turn things
It
around.
was
a little
flag
bit.
Saints for
Yeah.
the first few rounds.
Yeah,
Was it? I
I was
reckon-
like on that train.
Yeah. I think it was
Taking
after
my
you...
time off in September.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people were.
Yeah,
I think it was after you beat us in round 6. It was like, okay, the Saints are bloody good.
Yeah,
was
but even
6
now, people still go like, I saw. We were at a wake on Friday night and someone was trying to like knock me and I was like,
jeez.
not right now, like
jeez.
Time and
not
place.
right now.
Come on.
But someone's like, oh, Saints haven't even beat anyone good, and I was like, okay, we lost by 6 points to Collingwood, who were clearly like the premiership favourites. I was too blind. I don't really remember watching like the end of that game.
Was that the Gather Round
That was
game?
the Gather
Yeah,
Round.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, Western Bulldogs are like seem to be a bit of like.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, at the moment, and we beat like Freo, who aren't doing like too bad. Carlton,
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I feel like
At the time, Carlton was better.
yeah, and I feel like
Yeah.
last season you lost to us and then didn't win another game for the rest of the season. So it
was a spiral.
sorry,
Yeah. Yep.
sorry.
Okay. This is
Just
dead.
flatten him now. You're ruining the mood.
There's been a few Carlton jabs today. I'm not sure. This wasn't the reason why we got you on.
We planned this, but we planned this in the background. We knew this was going to happen. But you know what? You win today. You got a winnable game in Hawthorn next week. Couple in a row. Gets the momentum going again.
Yeah.
King's back. A big bag from him would.
Yeah.
wouldn't go
Not
far.
saying the
Yeah.
Saints, like they're still sitting, what, 6th, 5th on the ladder? So
I think so.
it's just,
no.
yeah, it's just compared to the start where you were flying.
We dropped from first and I haven't looked at the ladder
Yeah.
since. Don't want to know.
Well, you're still 6 on the ladder, so you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing pretty good considering we're both out of the 8. We don't really have much, much leg to stand on.
But it's good to see them like, besides the last sort of like 2 weeks, like actually try it, not like the effort, and they just don't stop. There was like games in previous seasons where they'd have like a good 5 minutes
Yep.
and then just like nothing and would just lose and it was just flattening, but
Yep.
we still went every
Yeah.
week. And
Yeah.
Do you think it's the Ross effect this year that's having that massive
I reckon,
change?
I mean, I don't know Ross personally,
No.
but
Like his coaching style.
no, but I don't know. I think he just sort of like gives the vibe like you don't put in effort, like you fucking you're out.
Yeah.
Like you've got to put in, or like
Yeah.
I was just gonna say put out and get out, but I was like, but I don't know. I feel like they just not that they haven't respected. I don't even know them personally either, but
Yeah.
like respected like previous coaches. But I just reckon like Ross is there with one reason, and everyone's just like, all right, we've got to do it.
Yeah. So he's got a system in place, and if you're not going to, play to his system, you're out. He'll replace you.
Yeah. Which I don't think is like a bad thing.
No, I think it's good.
I think it's good. We used to have it in like year 6 basketball. Our coach, we did like one thing wrong, like fouled, and he was like, off the court, girls. But I tell you what, we won three grand finals with him. I was on the bench quite a bit.
It seems a bit harsh for a year 6 basketball coach, but if you're winning flags, that's all that matters. Absolutely take that.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's probably the last of the old school sort of coaches left.
Yeah, there's not many around. Yeah.
So it's probably Dimmer's probably sort of there.
Dimmer teeters, because then he's also on the whatever makes a player happy type thing, and he's big on that side of stuff, which is good as well. But he's definitely not as hard as a Ross or So I think of someone else, but I can't. So Ross for now.
They're all different now these days. Where Ross is still from that era, from like the 2000s. Where it was pretty hard nosed. Obviously, got the same still a couple of grand finals, but.
Okay, thought you weren't going to bring that up.
Well,
what do we say? We have one rule.
I've been getting Carlton jabs all day, I would say we're even, but we're still not. But,
Well, we're not going to get even. We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Before we wrap it up, it's a very simple question, but it's one I'm actually quite interested in. Who is your favourite Saints player at the moment? Like, who's going well that you can't get enough of?
Like, love them all, but
Great
I love
answer.
Roro, love Rowan Marshall, and I love Machito. Like, you can't. Machito.
He's so good.
He's so good.
Is he second year?
Yeah, second.
Second year. Second year,
And of course, got to love like the King and.
Yeah,
Jack Steele.
Love all those guys.
Yeah.
I think every Saints supporter says Jack Steele is like their favourite player.
Nah, like I love Jack Steele.
Yeah.
He's our captain.
Yeah.
I reckon like Rowan and Machito, and they're probably like my two.
Yeah.
And Wilkie, of course. Oh my God, how did I forget
Wilkie's
Wilkie?
been a star.
One of the most underrated
Great
players
year.
going around. He is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. I know Tiara and I usually, they're not like the underdog ones, but we always, throughout like the years, have always picked like the underdog that like not a lot of people love, and they're like, oh, like get rid of him. Like we have always been, and she still is to this day, D-Mac. I don't know if you guys know who D-Mac is. Dan McKenzie.
Yeah.
Like he's #1 fan.
Right.
And we just, I don't know.
That's so good.
It's we
pick
always
a
like,
niche
pick,
player.
like random players. We're like, they're our favourites.
That's great.
They're the best ones. And I'm not in the Saints inner circle, obviously, so I don't know nicknames of players and stuff, but did you make Roro up, or was that a common nickname in Rowan Marshall?
I don't know.
When you said Roro, it took me by surprise.
It is now.
I don't know. We sort of call him Roro. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not bagging it. I just...
I've heard Rowie. Rowie's the usual one, isn't it?
Ro.
I don't know. I've never actually...
It's Roro
never
now.
given it two thoughts. But I guess it's Roro from now on.
I think my nephew started calling him his 3.5. I think he just...
Okay.
Don't use your 3.5.
Oh, he's 100% brainwashed. His mum's a Essendon supporter, and she said to me yesterday, actually, she goes, I woke up this morning and Levi was singing the St Kilda theme song. She's like, Amber, you've got to stop. And I was like, I can't help if he loves things that I love.
You've corrupted him.
I have.
You'd rather that than Essendon supporter.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But like, do we want to put him through like the sadness that me and my brother have been through?
It's going to change, doesn't it?
Yeah, jeez. You still rather Saints than Essendon.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Nah, big time.
Essendon were pretty exciting last night.
Okay.
Oh, there it is, another jab.
Okay, I thought we had a mutual agreement here. It was Carlton we were roasting, not Richmond. Obviously, the day of recording, it was Dreamtime last night. And so pretty flat about that. So, I'm lucky I'm even here, to be honest. But that's all good. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for coming on and joining us. It's
Thanks
been
for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Cool to actually get to know you a bit more than just the knock we see you screaming every week at the Saints game. So
big drunk idiot.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But we love it though. Like I sit there thinking, geez, I wish I was doing that. I love it. So it's it's great fun, and it's been a real pleasure having you on.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Vanders.